Hello there, and welcome back. Today we're going to be opening the last box of the pre-constructed decks. We're going to be opening Earth box today. We have already opened the other three, being Air, Fire, and Water. And today we are going to be opening Earth. Getting right down to it. Looking at this is the box for Earth, Geomancer pre-constructed deck. On the back we see, Rule with the dependable strength of Earth. Contains a starter deck for a single player, 1 avatar, 16 atlas, and 36 spellbook cards. Alright, moving right along. There we go. Putting that off to the side. Sorry, I'm just going to have to clean up a little bit here. There we go. Alright, moving right along. And starting off, we have ourselves. I'm just going to put this in front right here. There we go. Alright, starting off, we have ourselves Geomancer by Francesca Berald. Very cool card. I'm liking all that green and yellow there for the background. Looks very cool. Then we have our what looks to be like an Earth-like planet in the middle. Feels familiar. Your avatar cultivates the seeds of conquest. Awesome. Very cool card. Moving right along, of course, we have Crater Eyes. Now that looks very nice. A lot of purples on the outsides, and just where that impact is, very bold reds and yellows, orange. But you know, that place has just been hit by something very cataclysmic. And this is by Marta Molina. Oh, dear me. Did I talk about it? Going back for a second, this is by Francesca Berald. It feels like I mentioned that, but I just wanted to make double sure. And Crater Eyes is by Marta Molina. Awesome. And after Crater Eyes, we have Ratinus Titan. Ratinus. Wow. By Tony Shizulo. Lots of detail going on in this image. The background kind of more just there. A little bit watercolored. Faded out. Not faded, but just blended, not as much defined detail. And then that Titan is just full of detail in its armor and its weapons and its destruction. That looks so cool. Very awesome card. Almost looks like the Titan is wearing glasses. Kind of funny. Moving right along, of course. Now we have the Mountain Giant. Wow. That is very cool. He is very, very large. Compared to the terrain around him, It almost looks like there was a map and then this giant has come out of it. This is by Francesca Beirald again. Very subtle backgrounds, blues, or very subtle blue, I guess, but more the browns and whites, little green, little red. But then you have this blue giant in the middle just popping right out at you. Awesome. Next we have Wild Boars by Vasily Ermolev. Wow, lot of red going on here. And the way the line work is that brings everything together is very cool. Very scary like. Keeps you on edge when you're looking at the boars. And just that nice pretty red background. Seeing those trees. Very cool. And there's two of those. Now we have Land Surveyor by Aussie Hayakawa. Very striking in the yellow, subtle in the blue sky. Not a ton of greenery, of course, because this land has been cultivated, it looks like, because of those farmers. And then you have a lot of detail in the surveyor on the horse, because that's where the focus is. That's where your eyes should be. And that's helped along with all the detail that's going on. And now we have two of those. Next we have Scent Hounds by Andrea Modesti. Sorry about that, for the name of course. A very wispy background, which would indicate why you need these dogs. And wherever the dogs are, it's not wispy, because there you are your scent hounds. They've cleared the area. And they shall continue on to clear another area. Very pretty with the greens and reds. Awesome little scene here that's been captured by Andrea Modesti. Cool. And there's two of them. Next we have Belmont Longbowman by Andrea Modesti. A familiar name. We got that green wispy grass, some spikes in the middle, with some arrows, which looks like these longbowmen have been receiving arrows as well. And then we have the army of longbowmen taking pretty much all of that image up with their arrows. And there's a battle going on. Very cool. Lots of color. And there are three of those. Now we have ourselves Cave Trolls by Drew Tucker. A lot of blue overtones there. And just kind of to draw your eye in, you have that bold red nose on the front troll, no bold red nose on the back troll. And to see what's going on, you can't help but notice that that back troll is eating something, as this very detailed front troll is looking at you. Look at him. Like, why are you watching him eat? Oh my goodness. Pudge Butcher by Brian Smith. Wow, an exceptional demon of corpulent choler. Wow. That is a image to behold for sure. Lots of reds and oranges. Very subtle, like line work to detail. Very, very neat. You can see some blue in the hand, little vein work. No real definition in the line work, but just enough to give you kind of an outline of his back and stuff, and that bold blue scythe-like weapon in the middle to pull you in and just devour. Very cool card. Here's one of them. Next we have Autumn Unicorn. Lots of detail here. This is by Severin Pignot. No real blues in this image. Very, very touch of red there behind the horse. Or behind the unicorn. And lots of yellows, lots of greens. Very, very striking unicorn in the middle there. But it's almost as if you're supposed to be looking around, because the unicorn itself is so dark. Very cool card. Very different. And there's two of them. Next we have Slumbering Giantess by Liz Danforth. Another striking card. Very pretty purple backgrounds. And the subtle earthy tones around the card. And then a whole bunch of yellow for that Slumbering Giantess. But nothing too bearing or overbearing, as if she's become one with her surroundings. Very cool, very pretty scene. By Liz Danforth. Awesome. And there's only one of her. House Arn Bannerman by Andrea Modesti. Wow, there's a lot going on in this card. After you can see that green grass, you see a lot of trees, yellows, some evergreens, and a castle in the background, some pretty dark blue skies with a lot of clouds. A whole bunch of detail on these figures right in the front. They're the armament here, this bannerman, and it looks like they're headed either towards sacking a castle, or they're just headed home. Very cool card. Nice little lion there on the flag. Lots of color, very pretty. Next we have the Dalshian Phalanx by Vincent Pompetti. Exceptional mortals who yield no ground. Very unique perspective on this one, with this army coming at you. Very subtle on the colors for the army itself, but those shields really do stand out. They're blues and yellows, blacks and reds, blacks and whites, subtle yellow with a little bit of blue there on the kraken. Very cool. And now we move on to Amazon Warriors by Elvira Shekarova. Wow. Yeah, I'm just about to clear my throat here. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Back to the Amazon Warriors. Here we see the nice contrast between the golds and reds for the armor. And a lot of subtle colors for the people. As if they're kind of servants or workers for these Amazon warriors. They don't need really much in the way of clothes or fancy clothes. They just need the necessities, as it were. These very striking Amazon warriors. Alright, and there were two of those. Next we have King of the Realm. Wow, lots of detail here on this individual by Tony Shizulo. And of course, being the King of the Realm, that would make sense. Where else would you have the detail, if not on the King? A unique mortal, triumphant and true. Lots of contrast here between blues and reds. Just a lot of striking features. Lots of detail. Really awesome. And a subtle yellow background. Moving right along. We move on to Overpower by Vincent Pompetti. Again, we have our contrasting colors here, but kind of balanced because we have the use of what looks to be like all the colors from red to blue to green to yellow. And then just nothing but a statement in the middle. An individual overpowering another. Awesome card. Very, very cool. And there will be 2 of those. Next we have Divine Healing by Alan Pollack. Wow. Very pretty and serene card. You can have that light wash over you kind of feeling. That divine healing feeling. I have heard your prayer and seen your tears. I will heal you. 2 Kings 25. Awesome card. Very pretty. Very subtle. Awesome. And there's only one of them. Next we have Border Militia by Truett Parrish. Lots of greens here. Very subtle background. Very dulled out sky. And of course we have our Border Militia here in the middle of the card. But again, nothing overly detailed. Just so you can take in the entire scene as a whole to get a full story. There's more than just one image in front of you. There's an entire story of images. Awesome. And that's by Truett Parrish. And next we have Barry by Dan Seagrave. Wow, what a dark feeling card. So you see this individual with this, what looks to be like either a boulder or rock, or I don't think that would be dirt because it wouldn't be so uniform on top of them. It would be so nice and round. It would be crumbly. But yeah, and everything's just blacked out except for where he is with a little bit of light. And it looks like perhaps if he was alive at some point, he no longer is, unless he's a demon. And then he's just stuck for a long time, perhaps. Awesome card. And there are 2 of those. And this is perhaps what could have happened to that individual in Barry. There might have been a cave-in by Mikhail Nagipal. A lot of dark outer sides, of course. After all, you are in a cave. There isn't much light except from the light from the entrance. But in the entrance you see all manner of earth-like debris coming through. You got some trees, almost maybe some water, rock, some debris, and just not much color, just green foliage from the tree coming in. Very cool. And that light just lighting it up. Nice use of the light, very natural light. Awesome. Next we have Entangled Terrain by Drew Tucker. An ordinary aura of trammeling roots. Really neat use of the line work here. And the brushwork. It's not straight. Everything is rounded. Everything feels entangled. Right down to every stroke of the brush, right? So it really helps get that image across in your mind that everything is entangled. Very cool. And it's a bright, nice, sunshiny day, it looks like. It's a shame we're going to be entangled in this vine. Maybe this individual with the axe is going to save the day. You never know. Next we have Siege Ballista by Elvira Balakolska. Again, we have that dark and red background. Just a little bit subtle castle, a little mountain, a little middle ground there. And in the foreground we have that green grass, but nothing too detailed because in that very center we have ourselves that Siege Ballista, and that's where all your eyes need to be. Wow, lots of detail in that wood and in that metal. And the soldiers getting ready to fire it. You can see how it's been propped up on those rocks. All your story exists in that center. Very cool. And next we have Rolling Boulder by Jussi Pilkos. I'm not too sure. Sorry again. This one's full of blue, lots of blue. Lots of line work too. Because I guess you have such uniform color, you really need to use that line work to bring definition. Otherwise it's just all color. But with that line work, it really tells it, and it really tells a story. And that red right in the middle, right on the boulder, where it impacts that creature. Very cool card. And next we have Payload Trebuchet. Wow, what a cool looking silhouette on this one. Ozzy Hayakala. Again, sorry about the name. Very pretty yellow though. Some nice contrast in blue. I guess it would be considered a complementary color. I think. Blue and yellow? Ah. No. Man, very cool card. I really like it. The more you look at it, the more detail you can see in all of that blue. And just that subtle flame, lighting up the soldiers, getting the trebuchet armed, I guess. Awesome. And that will be the end of our spells. So moving right along to our first atlas by Andrea Modesty. The Humble Village, an ordinary sight of abundance. And that's symbolized here by the abundance of grass and the abundance of cows. And the fields are lush, and the buildings are big. Everything is just full and alive. Very cool card. And we have 3 of those, 3 humble villages. And now we have ourselves Rustic Village by Andrea Modesty. This rustic village is a little bit more simplistic. It has its 1 cow with 1 individual, or maybe 2 cows, pulling a cart along. And this rustic village is a little bit more weathered, it would seem. After all, it is rustic. And some nice pretty blue background, a little subtle red here in the mountain. Very cool feeling in the back, very warm in the front. Awesome. How many do we have here? 3 rustic villages. Now we have ourselves a simple village. And again by Andrea Modesty. Lots of yellows here, not much green. Maybe it's the time of year. And then we have ourselves just a village in the middle, and we are told it is a simple village. So there probably isn't much going on behind there. Just a simple village with a simple life. Very quiet. That's why nothing's happening. No critters, no people. Simple Village by Andrea Modesty. And there's 3 of those. And now we have Vantage Hills by Jeff A. Menges. Lots of greens, lots of browns. A nice kind of subtle blue background. Light blue with some kind of contrasting dark spots. An exceptional sight with striking views. And if you look very carefully, you can see those individuals there, just standing atop the hill, taking in the same view as you. Perhaps they're looking at you, looking at them. Perhaps not, though. They're probably looking out into the sun just as you are. Awesome. Next we have, there's 2 of those. Next we have Quagmire. Wow, lots of detail here. Holy, a lot of reds, a lot of greens. Not much blue, just a little bit of blue in the background. And then the way that orange sun hits the ground really just makes it reflect. The accents those oranges. You can, I guess, say perhaps it is going on nighttime because those fireflies are starting to come out. An exceptional sight of swamp and sloth. Sloth? Either way, it's a very pretty card, lots of detail. By Chow Calazans. Awesome. There's 2 of those. Next we have Bedrock. Truly a great image that captures the feeling of bedrock. It really does. If you've ever passed by some rock faces, this really does feel like something you would see, could put your hands on, very tangible. And this is by Adam Kasper. I am so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. An exceptional sight of unyielding solidity. Wow, very cool card. So much detail there. You can get that rocky feeling. And now we have Holy Ground by Michael Nagipal. Wow, so serene and beautiful. A lot of yellows. That sun just casting over everything. Kind of that silhouetted feel with the cross and the rocks that it's standing upon. Very beautiful. Alright. Last but not least, Sinkhole. Oh. This is by Michael Nagipal. An elite sight of impending collapse. Lots of greens here, a lot of earth, but then you see that brown hole right in the middle, and it's about to engulf and swallow everything. Hopefully those cows are none the wiser, or maybe this has already happened for a while and those cows are just used to that big sinkhole in the middle as the water pours in. Very cool card, lots of greens, but lots of details in the shrubbery. Awesome. And that was our last card. Thank you so much again for coming out. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye now.